Hi, my name's Liz Altman, and today I'll be talking about the legal battles over transgender rights in the NCAA. Just for a quick overview, this essay that I wrote examines the NCAA's regulation change in February 2025 that bans transgender women from participating in women's collegiate athletics. I chose this topic because sports have always been a major part of my life, and since I'm a sports communications major, I wanted to tie in my topic with something that related to my field and something that I cared about. As for my research questions, my first one was what moral and legal factors went into the NCAA's February 2025 decision to exclude transgender women from participating in women's sports. And as for my second one, in what ways does the NCAA's 2025 policy uphold or contradict current understandings of Title IX and transgender student athlete rights? And if you're unfamiliar, Title IX prohibits sex discrimination in education programs that receive federal funding. My argument is that the NCAA's policy banning transgender athletes from women's collegiate sports not only creates an ethical dilemma, but also a political divide. And it kind of raises the question of equality and right from wrong. And after conducting research, I've concluded that the decision contradicts Title IX and reinforces negative stereotypes. Just because if there's an act that's for discrimination for your sex, then this shouldn't really like be happening if there's something for it. As for my findings, the first one is that the NCAA decision contradicts Title IX, and the 2025 policy creates a categorical ban based on gender identity, which creates concerns regarding legal compliance, even while Title IX prohibits discrimination based on sex. According to legal specialists, transgender athletes should be protected by Title IX, which would allow them to play sports that correspond with their gender identity. Um, And again, just like I said, it just contradicts Title IX, and raises the question of if it's fair or not. Then, as for my second one, the fear-mongering competitive advantage, according to research, there's no substantial scientific fact that transgender athletes are at a higher advantage than women in sports. So it's kind of a fear-based logic, and it's not even supported by science. It's just opinions. Um, then the third, it raises political pressure because the NCAA's decision was likely driven by political standings rather than thinking about players. And the policy aligns with the national political trends that restrict transgender rights. Because of the time that this happened, that was a big topic, and the NCAA had to follow that since they are funded. Discussion, the transgender students are protected from discrimination under Title IX, which is contrary with the NCAA's 2025 policy. Title IX ensures that there is inclusion rather than exclusion, and according to my analysis, politics played a greater part in the NCAA's decision rather than legality. And um, during this time, there were a lot of problems with like franchises, organizations, and NCAA making decisions for themselves because they weren't able to because of the national funding. Then, as for part two of the discussion, I found that NCAA evolved their policy in reaction to pressure rather than legal precedent by applying a lens. This kind of just goes saying like they were had pressure on them to make these changes, and this demonstrates how frequently the NCAA and other organizations like that respond to public opinion. And the study demonstrates that although existing laws encourage inclusion, policies are still motivated more by misinformation than by rule of law. Just in conclusion, the NCAA's February 2025 policy, which excludes transgender women without a valid legal reason, may be a violation of Title IX. And in addition to a more thorough legal review of this situation, there should be also more studies to look at how it affects transgender athletes. There's my works cited. Thank you.